Patrick, in this video, I want to talk about the Area 51 raid. I want to talk about the Area 51 raid. If you guys have not heard about it, I think it's pretty popular in the mainstream news that there's a guy who started a Facebook page, and I believe it's a like page maybe. And what happened was he wanted to get people to sign in support of raiding Area 51. Okay, now it ended up getting like a million and something signatures, and so therefore it became pretty popular, and then it ended up being in the mainstream, all the way to the point where the military has issued a warning that that's not a good idea to try to raid probably the most secure government military facility period, okay, in the world, if definitely the country, if not the world. Okay, now, like I always try to do, guys, I want to tie this in, okay? So I want to make this interesting, and I want to tie it in, all right? So I believe it's interesting because we're talking about Area 51. We know Area 51, what? Aliens, right? Aliens and all types of secret things that we just don't know about as common everyday people. Okay, now with that said, guys, let's use aliens as an example, all right? Now, the aliens, right? The aliens, guys, aliens are together. When we think of aliens, right, when we see them depicted in different movies, okay, we always see them move as a collective. Now, let's think about the aliens that we most commonly think about, that we always see, in media. You see like those big head gray ones with the big black eyes, okay? If you notice, they all look alike. It's nothing distinct about them. It's nothing individual about them. It's nothing that is unique about them. They all look alike, okay? And then you notice how they always move as a unit, as a collective. You rarely see them by themselves, okay? So they're always in a community, all right? And they always seem to have some purpose. They're not just whatever, like I'm talking about, of course this is in the movies and the media, but even they're depicted this way in the media. They always have some collective purpose that's bigger than them as individuals, okay? And they always moving as a collective with a purpose, with a goal in mind, okay? Now, let's look at this as far as evolution goes, and thinking about how every time we think about aliens, right, we think of them to be more evolved than us. That's always the idea, right? When you see it in media, they always are like these life forms that's more intelligent, more further advanced, further along than humans, right? And so with that said, with their evolution, isn't it funny how, like I said, they don't have anything distinct about them? So in their evolution, perhaps they shared their ego, okay? So therefore, none of them need to look any different from each other to distinguish themselves from each other. They're not selfish. They have a common purpose and a common goal. So therefore, they shared their ego, okay? That said, I'm sorry about the wind, guys. They shared their ego, and therefore it's not a distraction, okay? They have a higher purpose, a higher calling, a higher goal to get something done, okay? So they don't marvel at individual things as far as what each other has, how this one looks, how this one doesn't look, what this one has, what this one doesn't have, okay? That's a form of evolution, all right? And then also, let me see here. If you think about it, guys, that's just what I want to talk about as far as when it comes to people, okay? We have to be able to come together. We're too individual, and so we are always spread out, we're always separate, and we're always in competition. I just touched on this on the video I just uploaded a few minutes ago, okay? And the thing is, guys, you have to be a collective. You have to be able to shed your ego, shed your selfish personal desires in order to come together to achieve a common goal, a greater goal, okay? A bigger picture, to paint a bigger picture, okay? To have a bigger purpose other than just yourself, okay, guys? And so divide and conquer. Always talk about divide and conquer, okay? So if you can come together on things, okay? And another thing about Indians and chiefs, you know how they got the saying, everybody wants to be the chief, not enough Indians, too many chiefs. So another thing you have to do, guys, is accept leadership, okay? Accept your role. The only times we kind of really do this is you'll do it in the military, and you'll do it on a sport, like in a sports team or on a sports team or something like that. You'll accept certain people as the leader of the team or whatever, and you got people who will probably have issues with it, but you know what I'm saying, collectively, to go out there and play a game, okay, and to try to win a game or anything like that, you always have to follow the structure of the team, okay? But in regular everyday life, a lot of people have a hard time doing that. Therefore, you can't ever really come together. Before you can put something together, it's torn down because you have too many people with too many differences and personal agendas, okay? So I just wanted to use that Area 51 thing as a little fun way to segue and lead into, an idea that I had. That's, it's a common idea. It's nothing too far-fetched out there, but it's things that constantly got to be honed in on until true change comes about, okay? And it's things to implement going forward, okay? Coming together, okay? Unity is power, all right? Unity is power. Separation is weakness, okay? Okay, strength is in numbers. All right, guys. Hopefully this was an insightful video. Peace.